I'm blue, I've been deed, I've been died, 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 I've been deed.
Hey guys, it's Keelan. So we're definitely a little blue following the last war against the Korean clan that I had mentioned in the last recap. By the way, I'm not sure what to call them because I can't read what their name is, but I tried it out and I think that it translates loosely to something like "we suck, therefore we engineer." But don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. As you can see, they three-starred our whole map, and we were unable to three-star their top three bases. Now, this is not to say that they were good. Far from it. Their top two were both 89,000 weight bases, defensive weight bases, and 90,000 is max Town Hall 10. Their third base was a Town Hall 11, masquerading as a Town Hall 10. I don't even know what to call this. Like, this is not a strategy and that I can wrap my head around. What do you call this? Do you call this a 10 point? No, can't call it a 10 point something because it's not a Town Hall 10. Whatever. 9 points up? I don't know. It weighs less than a Town Hall 10. Anyway, it was a weight of 86,000. Level 3 Infernos. Look at the heroes. Hey, 36 King, 43 Queen, and a maxed out Warden. Wow, that's good stuff. Maxed out Teslas hanging out in the core. Maxed out traps everywhere. These guys had 4 Town Hall 11s, 8 Town Hall 10s, only 3 Town Hall 8s. The remaining 10 were Town Hall 9s. Compare that to what we put on the field. We had 4 Town Hall 10s, 13 Town Hall 9s, and 8 Town Hall 8s. And I'm not taking time to break down like 0.5 bases, etc., how many of those there were, because they had very few that were actually 0.5s. They had a ton that were just engineered all over, like a bunch of defenseless bases. 2 of their Town Hall 11s were defenseless. It was a joke. And I'll come back to the joke at the end. But in terms of a recap for today's war, or yesterday's war, we had a few really, really good Town Hall 9 attacks that I wanted to take a look at. 2 of them in particular. And I'll take a look at them in just a second. Then I'm going to fast play through some other attacks that were very dominant. And they're kind of go along with the joke, by the way. You'll see what I mean. But before the replays, let me just kind of break down just how bad these guys were and why they engineer. Remember, they had 20 Town Hall 9 attacks, okay, because they had 10 Town Hall 9s in the war. So they had 20 attacks from Town Hall 9s. Oops. If you look at who which Town Hall 9s were successful against Town Hall 9s, they were only able to 3-star 2 of our Town Hall 9s with Town Hall 9 attacks. I said 2 out of 20 attacks, okay? One of them was this guy, their number 14. I mean, and he's got max troops with 23, 22 heroes. He should be able to 3-star a maxed out or nearly maxed out Town Hall 9 if he's decent. He 3-starred T-Money, who is an 8.5. So, good job. The other one was their number 9. Number 9 here. He 3-starred Anku, who is our very lowest Town Hall 8.5. So, really, really sad. The remaining attacks were all taken care of by Town Hall 10s and Town Hall 11s. Every single one of their attacks, all but one of their attacks, I considered a dip. Because it was either somebody hitting way, 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 way down. Both of those included, by the way. Even like number 4. Number 4, he's a Town Hall 10, right? Nope, he attacked Jason Neo. Good job. You're good. Good 6-star war for you, buddy. The only one that I would consider a decent attack that was like comparable and not a dip was their 18 hit Ills for 3 stars. And the other reason I don't consider it a dip was because, it was basically max 8 versus max 8. it was slightly lower than him. It wasn't his mirror or anything like that, but it was not a bad attack, I got to be honest. 18 hitting 20, max versus max, basically. But enough of that for now. The two really good attacks I wanted to show were both Town Hall 9 versus 9.5 action. One was even did not go for 3 stars. It failed to 3-star. It was Wolf's cleanup attempt on base number 7. This went for 99%, and if he had any small thing at all go a different direction, it would have worked. It would have got the other percentage. But take a look at that one. And I don't normally we don't normally look at failed 3-star attempts, but the reason I wanted to look at this one was because it was a really well thought out plan. You can see what he's going to do is he's going to quad quake in this area behind these 2 air defenses, and open up a ton of the base to be able to get to the enemy queen and 3 air defenses, and then he's going to La Loon the rest of it. So it's a Gobo La Loon. Heroes coming in with the bowlers. He kind of forgot to quad quake. There it is. And honestly, this would have gone for 3 stars if his bowlers didn't all run just outside of the heal spell. They kind of get rocked by the Expos and that Tesla over there. But his queen and that wizard still grab the last air defense, so that works out. And kind of speed this up a little bit till he gets to the La Loon portion. You're going to see that he does a really good job of kind of getting things into the base here, taking out that mortar. And the only thing that kind of bites him in the rear end on the end, he's going to try to haste these balloons along. The thing that bites him in the rear end is that mortar right there doesn't go down. If that mortar was, if he had 1 balloon to take out that mortar, or if they split now and some of them went up to take out that mortar, this goes for 3 stars. Or if they split now, or if they split after the mortar's down, this goes for 3 stars. But you're going to see that they don't split. All the balloons skip the rest of the junk there, the gold mine or the gold storage, those 2 mines, and the builder hut. And there's not enough time because the loons are too slow. It was a good attack, though. I got to give it to Wolf. This was a terrific attack. And the thing about this attack, it was such a good plan that it was the same plan that Bronco used later on to clean this all up, to clean the last 1%. And get the 3-star. He followed basically the Town Hall 9 plan, Wolf's Town Hall 9 plan, using 25 extra troops, the extra spells, and the bigger heroes, some bigger troops as well. I could show Nereus' attack on 5 as well. It was another same thing. It was a solid 2-star hit, very tough 9.5 base. I'll show you what it looks like real fast. Even stronger base than that one. But Nereus, I think he got 83% or something like that. I mean, look at this base. Terrific attack that nearly went for 3 stars on a very, very high level 9.5. Unfortunately, lost a bunch of loons and cleanup troops in cleanup after the base was all the defenses were down. It was a really good attack. But I'm not going to take the time to look at that one. I showed Nereus too many times lately. But it was the same deal. I followed the same blueprint with Keelan that Nereus had used to clean this base. Again, just extra troops, extra spells, bigger heroes. But take a look at Vladdy's cleanup on base number 6. This was another really good hit. You can see the guy has level 4 expos, but they're set to ground. Blurry had hit this. He also has the upgraded wizard towers. Blurry had hit this and got, I think, 97%. And Vladdy followed basically the same plan, but changed the angle of approach a little bit. And Blurry's attack would have gone for 3 stars, except there's a Troll Tesla over in this this east corner. Yeah, that's east corner. And he doesn't, his loons take too long to get over to it. But you're going to see, open this up. This is a Gobo La Loon. He's going to open up the wall with wall breakers, and then he's going to put a jump down to get to the next chunk of the base, get to the queen, get to 2 air defenses. Very easily, he's going to get to those 2 air defenses. Going to kill a bunch of, or some Teslas along the way as well, I believe. Then he starts bringing in his La Lune portion here. It's just a really good attack. Again, was a plan like the one, or the same plan basically that Blurry had tried to use. Now, you can see up here in the corner, look what's still standing. He forgot about the Troll Tesla. And it almost cost him, but he ends up having plenty of time in the end. Just uses most of the the time. That's all. And just as a side note, for any of you that don't know, that Troll Tesla, one balloon dropped directly on top of it because it will not pop. Like, it's not a red spot. You can drop the loon directly on top of it. One loon dropped on it will destroy it. So if you don't know that, it's a good trade, 5 camp space, for the amount of time saved to not have your balloons track clear across the map. Just FYI. So anyway, 2 really good attacks that wanted to kind of take a look at. Town Hall 9's hitting really above their pay grade, hitting 9.5s. Now, back to the joke that I said I was going to return to at the end. I want to show you some really dominant attacks that were made by some of their lower bases. And I'm just going to kind of speed through these because, as you can see, they are just defenseless bases. Why am I doing this? Well, first off, to highlight that this is the pathetic stuff that that they had to do. They had to run in order to be quote unquote competitive. And some of the guys that I'm gonna show their attacks, they don't get highlighted. Like Dumb Idea never gets highlighted because he's a down 08 with used to a formerly defenseless base that is always just cleaning near the bottom. But 2, I need a soapbox moment. So allow me to climb on my soapbox for a minute while some of these play in the background in double speed, and let me talk for a minute. If you don't want to hear me rant, it's not a rant. Make my point. Feel free to kill the video now. But a lot of people who are engineering, they defend it and they say it's just a strategy. Even some people that don't engineer say that it's just a strategy, and that's fine. There is an argument to be made that way about engineering. That it is just a strategy, and da-da-da-da-da. But I'd like for you to kind of think through this with me. Follow my logic here for a minute. In the past, Supercell has done some nerfs in the game. They, a few years back, nerfed Hogs. They nerfed Valks. Not completely, but a little bit, a little over a year ago. They nerfed Miners majorly last year. In each of these cases, though, they've justified it by saying that they were trying to encourage more hybrid-style attacks. And these were all troops that were guilty of being mass attacks that didn't involve multiple phases. They were just spam and go, what we affectionately refer to as spam attacks. And they've always said that mass attacks are not the way that they intended the game to be played. I've heard that and read that multiple times. All right, well, let's apply that same logic to war. Was this kind of matchup that we have now the way that the game was meant to be played? Was this how war is supposed to look? No one believes it is. So why don't they do something to fix it? Well, I mean, short answer is that I believe that the simple answer is they don't want all those people with engineered accounts to quit the game, because a lot of them would. And the reason they don't want them to quit is because a lot of them spend money on the game. It's hard to make an engineered account. It's hard to make a defenseless base because you can't defend your loot. It's defenseless. It takes a lot of time. Don't get me wrong. Now, if you could focus on that one account for 6 months, you could easily get it up to like a defenseless Town Hall 10 that has a set of good troops. Don't get me wrong. That's possible in a short period of time or short enough period of time. But I don't think they want to lose these people. They already lost a lot of customers whenever the Octopus started finding all these accounts that had that were using third-party software, and dropped the ban hammer on them. They lost a lot of people that just quit after they lost their accounts. Now, they were cheating. So, I mean, that was a good thing. I'm not trying to say that they shouldn't have banned that, or they banned those accounts. They were cheating. So, but the question is, how many mistakes were made? That's hard to quantify, I guess. Now, if you want my honest opinion about engineering, it's my belief that a lot of the owners of these engineered accounts are the ones that used to mod. They used to use mods. They either got hit with the ban hammer at some point, or they were afraid of it enough that they quit using third-party stuff to game the system. But they used to game the system because they always sucked at attacking. And that hasn't changed. The next best solution for them is to game the system through engineering their wars. I mean, if you think about the timing, engineering was never a craze or a fad until after accounts started getting banned. In my opinion, it's my opinion that these are the same people. They've never been good enough to win without gaming the system, and that hasn't changed. They still aren't good enough to win without gaming the system. So they have to engineer now, because that's the only legitimate option that they can find. I mean, most people would just say, well, practice and get better. But why? Whenever you can do a shortcut, right? But for me, the question still stands, and this is just me, and why I can't agree that this is a strategy. If mods, bots, spam attacks, etc., are not, if those are contrary to the way the game was meant to be played, why is engineering not contrary to the way it was meant to be played? Once again, even engineers would agree that this particular war that we just had is not one that should ever happen. We should not have to face off against 6 defenseless bases at the bottom that we could easily 3-star, but allowing them to put a bunch of weight at the top, anchoring the top of the map with really, really heavy stuff that we can't 3-star, and then allowing them an opportunity to be able to 3-star us with from number 20 and number 21 all the way up to number 1. I mean, this again, even engineers would agree. And we had an engineer, a guy who is part of an engineered clan, come over and look at our matchup and go, yeah, this shouldn't have happened. Like, even engineers would agree this shouldn't happen. Anyway, that's enough. I will descend my soapbox now. Appreciate you taking time to listen to my rant. Again, I don't really know that it's a rant. It's my point of view. And I give you fair warning it was coming. So if you didn't like it, sorry. You should have turned it off whenever I gave you that option. Hope you all have a good one. Take care.
Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little guy that lives in a blue world, and all day and all night